Hi my friends, Sophia here. I'm so excited to be back for another video. It's been a while. I had to take a little break and reassess which direction I need to go here because I didn't know which direction I was heading, and I was feeling very overwhelmed, and we had like a lot of stuff going on with the move and getting adapted to our first winter here in the mountains, and we lost a pet this year. It's just been a bit of a moment. So we've had some ups, we've had some downs. It's been a rough year. I think it's been a rough year for many of us already. I know people said 2020, but 2020, I feel like had more hope in it. This year I feel like drained. I think because in 2020 I was still aware of what was, and now I'm just sort of like what will be. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I'm grateful for my art journals and my journaling, my creative side, because it really helps me to stay balanced. So this is where I want to go with my videos and continue on sharing my creative life with you, and more of that, and more of like my things that I'm interested in, my research, things that I study, especially things under wellness or spiritual, if you want to look at it that way. But today I'm sharing my bullet journals, and I want to talk a little bit about them, and what I do, why I use bullet journals, what are bullet journals, and just give you a general idea of how to start your own. So let's go from when I first started bullet journaling. So at the time I discovered bullet journaling, I believe it was 2016, based on what I have in my records of journals. I may have thrown away a few, which is kind of a bummer. I'm kind of bummed that I threw away some of my old journals. But I believe it was like 2016 when I started the bullet journaling. I was doing other types of planners and journals in the past. One of them, passion planning journal. Another would be like just the usual you can find at Walmart or Office Depot, and has little sections for months, and some of them are a little more creative looking than others. But at the time I really wanted to find something that didn't have all the dates listed, and so I was discovering some other journal types that were out there that were kind of like it, but I just couldn't quite commit to, like, some of them were very expensive, these undated journals and systems, and so I was like, gosh, there's got to be something somewhere in between. Like, I don't mind spending a little bit of cash, like $20-30 for a journal, because honestly, like, after journaling for so many years, when you find a really good journal that works for you, good quality paper, has the size you like, the brand keeps making that same journal, it's worth the money to me. So I'm willing to spend up to $30 on a journal. But everybody has their budget, so but also, like, it is really nice to work with better quality products. Believe me, there are some bullet journals out there that cost a lot more, like, buying them because they're really beautifully made, all of that. So we'll talk about that later, because I want to share more about, like, the process of journaling right now. I will share with you what I buy in another video. So anyways, let me take a sip here. I discovered bullet journaling because I was doing all this research, right? I was like, what's out there? What journaling kind of processes are out there? And Pinterest was kind of like kicking off with all these amazing journaling things. And I've always been, like I said, I've always been into art journaling. So I was looking up, and then I started to see these layouts that had like bullet point, how would I say this? It's like a calendar, and then the paper would be bullet printed. So let me show you what the bullet points look like. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not because it's so tiny, but see those little bullets? Okay, that's called dot grid, not bullets, dot grid background. So I saw that paper and I thought, ooh, that's really pretty paper. Like, I'm always interested in really pretty papers, like with grid, graph paper, stuff like that. I don't like lined journals. I would usually buy sketchbooks or journals with no lines. I just don't like the lines. All right, so I don't like the lined paper for scheduling because I felt a little bit too constrained, and graph paper tends to be really, like, usually when it's printed, it's very thick and there's a lot of lines, and so there's a lot of stuff that kind of like stands out. And they now make some graph journals that the graph kind of print stands out a little bit more or stays in the background, but it still jumps forward too much for me. So I found these bullet pages, dot grids, and I was like, what are these people doing? And so then I saw that they were called bullet journaling, and all these different types of pages and layouts started to show up. Some were really artsy, some were really straightforward, but I was like, whoa, what is this? Like planner? Is this art? What is this? You know, and I started to research it more and learned how to do it myself by going to the bulletjournal.com site. Ryder Carroll is the creator of the bullet journal system or method, and so I learned how to do it there, and then also learned from all kinds of people on YouTube and Pinterest because it was like a thing. It started to take off. So I decided to go ahead and just start practicing it, and each month or two I'd try different brands and different styles, different layouts, and eventually by spring of 2020, I discovered that I liked using the journals a little bit. I wanted to make it more intentional rather than just like jumping from one journal to the other, and then I wasn't like organized as well as I wanted to be. And so I found that looking at it seasonally was going to be really helpful. So I thought, okay, I'm going to dedicate one journal to this season and to one season, and then see if I can fill it up and what's going into it. How do I want to organize my planning part of it? How much art do I want to go into it? And so that one in particular was very much full of art. Let me just show you. The cover isn't as crazy, but the inside, I mean, I did lots of painting in this one. And the way that happened was it did start very creative looking inside. And even my layouts had lots of art in them, which is really fun to do. But I did notice that sometimes I wouldn't, like visually, it was a little too much for planning. So as time went on, I realized I needed to get a little bit more technical, a little more simplified, and played with that concept. So some of these layouts that I'm showing you are like planning layouts, some of them are art layouts. And then as I moved along and moved forward, I like this is the next year, or two books in 2 seasons. So this is autumn. You can see that I start to get a little bit more basic and organized with how I lay things out. More lists. Things are looking a little bit more uniform, and I think it helped to take, like, if I was going to do art, the whole page layout was going to be art, but not planning on it. And then if I was going to make a list, it was going to be something a little bit more simple. Even if it was artistic looking, I would still keep it really, really simple so that I could look at that list and not be overwhelmed by all of the artwork on the page. So I'm trying to see if there's anything here that gives a good example of that, where it's like a good balance, because a lot of this is just, I really was only writing lists and notes. Okay, so I keep my daily routine in here, but I have a month. I go by the month, the season, the month, the week, the day. But I also keep lots of lists and notes and things that are really important for me to remember and keep track of for that season. This one I did in the winter, and I was just not feeling creative this winter. I just wanted to find something that was really simple. We were very busy trying to figure out how to live out here in this, go through our first winter together. So it was a lot. And so my layouts were much more bullet journal particular, closer to the method that was first created, which is just, they call it bullet because he has bullet points and symbols that he teaches you how to use. So like this is an event, this is an appointment, and this is something to remember or whatever, so a chore or a task or whatever. I can't remember the exact terminology, but you can see that it was much more simple in this one. And then when I was done with the winter and the spring, I got a little more creative, as you see. But I also, because there are some really fun layouts, like here's just a basic art page layout. But at the same time, I was playing with some ideas of how to do like a daily routine. So there that got colorful. This one a little bit more regular. I didn't like this layout because you can see here it was too small, so I moved into something a little more open. Here's some notes on the Mayans. Here's a little layout here with a haiku that I wrote. Here's the week of April 25th to May the 1st, what I want to accomplish for that week. Sometimes I don't do a whole week's big layout like that, but there's a journal entry, you know, sometimes I'll do journal entries. I kind of want to do more journal entries this time around in my new summer journal, so you'll probably see that a little bit more. I'll give you guys some ideas of what kinds of journal entries I do, so that maybe you can be inspired to do your own. Here's a list of videos that I might want to make for this channel. Here's a really nice simple layout that I use now for scheduling for my planning. So this is this week's stuff, all right here. And if I want to write more daily, you know, like this coming week, this is my last week in this journal, so I'm gonna make it good. And then I take what I've learned from this journal and we'll go into the next one. So I definitely love this layout for the week, because this gives me the week. I know the month, what the dates are. I have some inspiring stuff here, but it's nice and neat and tidy. And then here, everything I have to do this week, and also you know, appointments I need to go to and important dates, but not even super detailed yet, because that will come in my daily layout, which I'm still working on. So I will show you that as the process grows. And that's it, my friends. Like, that's bullet journaling, basically. That's why, you know, that's what I do to lay out my goals and dreams every month. And I look forward to sitting down and writing, you know, like, this is my summer wellness renewal plan. So, you know, things that I want to focus on to improve my health overall, my wellness, my overall wellness, my well-being. And, you know, you guys know I'm really passionate about that kind of stuff and helping others. I have a dedication this time, so that's a new thing. This has lists of goals, dreams, all that good stuff. The big list on this, work, wellness, fun stuff. Big list means like the things that have to get done. Big dates are the things that are very important. And then fun stuff, what I want to focus on this month mentally, like the mental focus, what I want to work on. So I'm writing right now, what things do I need to do to get that done, get that book done that I'm writing, or whatever it turns out to be. And my wellness goals, so, you know, how am I going to take care of my body and my soul and my mind. My monthly layouts, June, July. See how simple they are? And I picked a color, but that doesn't mean that I have to stick with that color. It's just a suggestion, really. But it does help me to stay organized. You can see June is using that same blue color. And then I have this page that I glued in, because I started this is a secret with bullet journaling. You can glue in paper and cover your mistakes. And then I have a special tool that's even, it's a special tool that's really cool, and it's a pen and a whole line of pens and other writing tools that allow you to erase your mistakes, which I will show you in another video. It's like the coolest product. But yeah, so this is a layout of a really pretty little handmade paper that I bought at a craft store, local craft store. And it was just a really light pink, beautiful little handmade paper. And what I'm gonna do with this, I can even feel the plants in it. What I'm gonna do with this is probably do like some kind of a collage inside that's like a spring collage. But I had inside of it, underneath is actually the original first week of June plan, but it didn't look right. I didn't like the way it laid out. It looked a little bit messy, and I didn't quite space it out correctly. So I covered it, and that's how I do it. You can also, a lot of people just glue the pages together. So for example, this would have been glued, and then you wouldn't even known that that was there. But because this particular brand of journal numbers their pages, then I don't like to mess up the numbers. Also, the numbered pages you can use as a way to create your own table of contents in the front. I know this is called ghosting, when you can see what's written on the other side. So that's one thing about this journal. There is a lot of ghosting, but the paper is so nice. So anyways, yeah, I'll get back to you guys on this more specific, and let me know if there are any other types of videos you'd like to see. I mean, I'm definitely going to share my journal pages as I go. You know, as in personal, I don't want to share my personal information, but I do want to show how I lay out plans. And other fun layouts that are a little bit more creative and artsy as well, and show you kind of how to use different types of tools to decorate and materials to decorate your journals. I'd love to talk more about some of the things that get written in the journals and why they're important. And if you have any other suggestions, let me know. I mean, I'm an artist, so I can definitely share more of my artwork with you, but I think just doing the journal stuff and then what goes in the journal might be really fun, and then the artwork goes in the journal too. So anyways, thanks for joining me in my studio here, and can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I hope you appreciate, or no, I hope you appreciate this. I hope that you find this useful and inspirational. That's what I mean. I hope this inspires you to you know, try something new, try bullet journaling, and or maybe it makes you think of a different style of journaling, but I hope it inspires you to be creative in your own life, in your own way. All right, my friends, love you guys. Hope you're having an awesome weekend, awesome day, awesome whatever in this moment, and I will see you soon. Bye.